Ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, and all my non-binary pals, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. And unfortunately for me, I'm not doing so hot because I currently have every dollar from my new Blaze TV contract deposited in the massively failing Silicon Valley Bank. I was convinced to deposit my money into the Social Justice Bank once I realized that they had donated $73 million to BLM charities, as well as all the incredible work they did in fortifying the Democratic Party with endless amounts of campaign donations. And let's not forget all the donations they did for all of the Silicon Valley elite. But especially, Silicon Valley Bank was a leader in progressive banking values, and I was even honored to even put my money in their bank. But now I'm unable to access any of it, nor are any of my credit cards working, so I'm forced to eat Glenn Beck's leftovers that he leaves in the company kitchen. Things have gotten really bad, really fast. I don't know where I'm going to get any relief. But if you want to help me during these tough times, please consider sending a super chat with an encouraging message, because I would love to hear from the people that aren't in a financial crisis. Because, listen, I spent over $19,000 on FTX coin, and now my own family won't help me out because I invested some of their money as well. And to be honest, Jim Cramer said FTX was a sure thing. So how can I be held responsible for listening to the greatest TV stock analyst of all time? I mean, he has a freaking buzzer that he hits that tells you what stocks to buy. It doesn't get any easier than that. But I also listen to bad stock advice from Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy. When I brought my wife's boyfriend, Don Terrius, to his headquarters at NYC to talk about it, Dave literally threatened my life. So I'm just really struggling right now. So tonight, we're going to become totally interactive, and I'm going to become the king of all e-begging. Primetime 99 Alex Stein, the pimp on a blimp, needs you to pay for his scrimps. So get your credit card info out, and let's start getting weird in this Mamma Mia tonight. We have some incredible guests, including January 6th rioter Luke Coffey, as well as the beautiful, smart Josie Glawback, a.k.a. the Redheaded Libertarian. And if you guys didn't know, I love redheads. So make sure to type in the chat, simple alert, if I ever start getting softer than room temperature butter, all right? So we're going to have some fun tonight, even though I'm broke. So sit back, relax, and let's start the show.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself, why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. I'll break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
I just want to say, I'm really struggling, and we got one super chat from African communists. It says pimpin'. A lot of people say, oh, is it a live show or are you live? Well, look, bitch, we're live, dog. We are live. And we're with my very good friend, Mariachi Manuel. How are you doing, Mariachi Manuel?
Primetime 99, I'm very happy to be here today. My name is Mariachi Manny. My full name is Manuel Ortega Delgado Horchata, like the sweet dulce rice drink. But I'm happy to be here with you today, my friend.
Wow.
You're the people on the blimp, as they say.
Yes, I am. And you know what? The reason why I bring you on is because this is my favorite big booty Latina, AOC. I don't know if you guys can see this, but she's very near and dear to my heart. So
Caliente.
Muy caliente, as they say. And I figured if I brought somebody here with a Latin vibe, a Latin flair, you could maybe answer some of the questions that she's not willing to answer. Because listen, I just want to get a key and I want to unlock access to her heart, because I know that if I can go inside there, I will grow and permeate like a mold, and she will be forced to love me, a lot like a Stockholm Syndrome. And let's be honest, Stockholm Syndrome is not great, but I mean, it works for a lot of kidnappers. I don't know why we don't try the old Stockholm Syndrome treatment.
Well, you know, Primetime, us Latin means we know love, we know more, okay? I'm actually from España, that's why I have a lisp. I am not a gay. I like the women.
So you're not gay. See, I thought he was gay. I thought he was gay. Oh my God, we got another super chat.
All right.
$2 super chat from Big Mike. Keep the change, you filthy head. Big Mike! Guys, we're going to read your super chats. You know, we were going to make it, oh, well, if you only have a $99 super chat, we'll read it. But no, this is the Primetime 99 e-begging show, e-begging extravaganza. Sorry, I'm not trying to yell so much. I know that's hurting your ears. But if you guys, look, if you guys freaking give us a super chat,
Is it Big Mike? Michelle?
Big Mike.
She look in and watch the show.
Do people in Spain know that Michelle Obama is a boy?
Of course, the world, todo el mundo knows that Michelle is bigger Mike.
Telemundo does not know that. Telemundo says that it's Big Mike?
So that means the world, the total of the world, all the world except the United States, they're still in the, they're blinded. They cannot see, you know. We need to wake them up because they're sleepy sheepy.
Yeah, I agree. America is definitely asleep. And the reason why I brought you on, people might not realize this about you, Manny, is that you were actually a witness to the terror attack that happened on January 6th, 2022. Is that correct?
21. January 6th, enero 6, 2021. I was there.
Are you sure it wasn't 29? Okay, it's 2020.
No, it's 21, man. It's right after the, 2020, after the COVID, and
21.
The big drama at the Capitol.
21.
Yeah, and see, I came to Estados Unidos by way of Texas, by way of Venezuela, and there's a lot of mucho corrupciones. So I love Estados Unidos. Pero I see, that means but, I see many reflexiones of the corruption here in the Estados Unidos.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of corruption. And you were actually a witness. There's actually a guy that I know, a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, that you were there.
Yes, I know this.
Kind of watching his back. And his name's Luke Coffey. He's an actor,
Lucas
director.
Lucas Coffey,
yes. Yeah. Very nice guy. A good Christian young man, and he's actually...
He's a great man, He's very good looking, muy guapo.
He's very muy guapo, yes. He's very pretty, yes. He's very...
Look at
that, muy guapo, right there, muy guapo. Ooh,
funny whites, okay.
Dang, somebody went to El Denisto, or Denistero. I don't know how you say Dennis in Spanish, but hell, you've been there.
Denista.
Yeah, Denista. You got no plaquita, no plaquitos on your teeth.
No, of course not.
Luke is a very beautiful young man, but Luke is being persecuted by the federal government because we know that the Department of Justice has been weaponized against the American people, not only the patriots on January 6th, but also people that are just trying to speak freely on the internet. And what I'm just trying to say is it started off with the censorship on YouTube, started off with the small stuff, and now the weaponization has gotten so intense where they're basically giving people life sentences for misdemeanors, for charging with felonies, for stuff that they've never charged a felony for before in history. As a matter of fact, they've actually added a charge. Now, if you're a January 6th and you interacted with any sort of emergency responder whatsoever, now the federal government is saying that they can actually charge you with a felony. So it's really, really scary times for a lot of these January 6th guys. And I know that you were there, so you kind of want to give your input and give us your opinion on what happened. We saw that if we can show the tape of Luke Coffey, it's First, I want to show this. I want to show this clip from Bill Maher.
Oh, Bill.
You like Bill, right?
No, I do not. He's a jester, Diablo. He's a clown, a demonic clown.
Oh, he's a demonic clown. Does he drink the blood?
He's a jester for the kings. You're a jester to the people.
I love that.
You're a jester to the people, okay. Alex Stein, so 99.
Let's see old Billy O'Mar boy. Billy boy.
On the show, the different permutations that the right wing has been going through to justify the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. First, it was Antifa that did it. Then it was liberals dressed as us. That's my favorite. Like a McHale's Navy episode. It's them dressed as us. Then it was the FBI. Now they've come around to actually embrace the idea that, no, it wasn't a bad day after all. When liberals dressed as it was us, and we're proud of it. Now they're owning it. Marjorie Taylor Greene had an interesting quote about it this week. And they're basically saying these were brave patriots, to the point where we thought we could make some money on this. So here at Real Time, we're partnering with the Franklin Mint. Take a look at what we're going to sell.
You watched it on TV. Now you can relive every moment with the Franklin Mint's Heroes of the Coup commemorative coin collection. Beautiful, one-of-a-kind coins, all distinctively handcrafted by American laborers. You'll get Ashley Babbitt, Senator Josh Hawley, the guy who stole the podium, the guy bear-spraying a Capitol Police officer, the guy who attacked police with a crutch, the hanging off the Senate balcony guy, the Camp Auschwitz sweatshirt guy, and of course, the QAnon shaman, complete with his majestic helmet. Each coin comes with a certificate of authenticity and is guaranteed to increase in value. Each month, you'll receive a brand new coin to remind family and friends, I'm not just trolling you, I've completely bought into this. Act today and you'll also get this lucite-bound piece of the actual feces smeared on Nancy Pelosi's wall on that magical day. And this commemorative Rudy Giuliani syrup dispenser, so you can have breakfast every morning with America's mayor. Don't miss your chance to own a piece of MAGA history. May not resemble.
So what'd you think about that comedy right there, making fun of the weaponization of the American people being persecuted?
You know, the guy, he answers to the elites. He's not funny at all, you know. He tries to play to the liberals, you know. I mean, it was not funny at all. The crutch guy, we now know because of Tucker, the QAnon shaman, he was on a tour. He was on a tour.
He was basically on kind of like a touristic type of tour.
I mean, he had 9 couple police walking him around. Like,
I know. I don't understand.
He's the evil.
Yeah.
He's a Diablo.
He was going to decertify the election. That's why they gave him a tour around, because they knew that if they didn't give him a tour, he would have gone in there and actually done the paperwork correctly and decertified the election. So they did a great job stopping the QAnon shaman. So we want to give them credit. But before we get to the QAnon shaman, dude, we got super chats crazy. Jolly Boy, $22. At Primetime 99, the only pimp on a blip eating steak and shrimp. Matthew Phillips, hail from Canada. We love you. Cats and Guitars, we got to show Glenn this show is profitable. Rusty Shackelford, $10. How's the AOC lawsuit going? And $20. Buy Don Terrius a drink. Trust me, he's not getting $1 of this. He's using all of my money right now. He owes me money, so that's going into the money that he owes me. And then $10 from CS. They said, go get the Cardi B McDonald's. Let me read that correctly. You said, this is a Cardi B fan. Look, now we got another super chat. How are your pronouns doing? Okay, guys, this is insane for the Ukraine. We love it, but keep sending it because we are losing all of our money. But who's not losing his money is Bill Maher. So he's able to make fun of people like Luke Coffey. And I don't know if we have the footage, but let's show his depiction of the crutch guy attacking police. I don't know if we have that footage of Luke keyed up, but in this footage, now this is how Bill Maher describes this Luke Coffey guy, the guy he's putting on a coin, as saying that he attacked police and that he assaulted police. So tell us, what's happening right here?
I was right next to Lucas Coffey. He was saying, stop, pray for it, because there were people underneath right underneath that he thought was dying, so he was telling the people to stop.
Didn't somebody die near there?
Yes, Roseanne Boyland, okay?
Wow.
The second female that has died, this is not funny. She died that day by being beaten by a cop named Lila.
Look at this. But look at this. So you see Luke right there. He's going up, and look at that. Look, they're hitting Luke with a stick right there. You see that in the bottom screen. You'll see they're hitting Luke, and then now it appears Luke is getting just clobbered, you know, like...
You see Lila Morse getting beaten by the cop. Lila Morse beating Roseanne Boyland. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so it looks like Luke puts up the crutch as some sort of like self-defense mechanism.
No, he was making a barrier, not me. He was making a barrier.
Yes, to protect. And then Roseanne Boyland, she actually got dragged by the Capitol Police, and that's the last time anybody saw her alive.
Mr. Stein, there were men that were saying, stop, help this woman, to the police, the Capital DC Metro.
But you're Venezuelan. You have very strong lung capacity. You're a soccer player. Were you not able to attend to her, or is it just too chaotic?
No, I was trying, but my mariachi, my outfit, I was down below. I was trying to get up there, and I was telling them, help her, ayuda, help her, and they just ignore, and they keep beating and spraying. It was just out of control. This was disgusting. It was a very disgusting, Alex Stein, and they said that she died of an overdose. Lucas was trying to say, stop and help this woman. And then he picked up a crutch. Yeah. And guess what? The crutch, they say that is...
a weapon.
A weapon.
Deadly weapon.
He was charged with 6 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, the crutch.
6 counts.
They want to give him 20 years in the jail, in the prison.
Somebody just sent a super chat. It says, this show is not live. Changed my mind. Okay, well, if it's not live, TP Burkholz, why do I have freaking Mariachi Manuel telling you every single thing about January 6th while I'm simultaneously reading a super chat?
It's alive.
We are alive.
It's alive.
It's alive.
There's no lie.
No lie. So keep sending the super chats. And that was a $2 test. But guess what? I passed the test. We are live, baby. Anything can go wrong on this blimp. We're actually floating above Dealey Plaza, the same site of the JFK assassination. So what do you think happened with JFK?
I think our government is like a banana republico.
I love Banana
like a
Republic.
Venezuela.
Banana Republic has great shirts. I like.
They have great shirts. It's like that. They have a great shirts. They have a good clothing and stuff like that. But it's similar to that store, the Banana Republic store, because they tell they say that the shirt fits good, and they tell you a lie. They tell you a lie, and it doesn't look good on you. And you buy the shirt, and you sell it. And you put on the shirt, and then you take it home, and it's a lie. You realize I look like muy gordo. I look fat. I look fat in the shirt, and they lied at that Banana Republic. They tell me that shirt fits, and it does not fit. So something doesn't smell right all the time, with the Banana Republic.
They tell you that shirt is safe and effective.
But in Venezuela, the Banana Republic down there they're horrible stores.
No, Venezuela's very good.
They're very corrupt Banana Republic stores down there. The shirts are very tight. They don't fit good at all, but they say they do.
So tell me, there is a lot of migration coming from Venezuela. Why are so many people coming to America from Venezuela?
Because they've been sold a false set of goods. What do
you mean? This is the land of milk and honey.
It is, but we're seeing them are migrating like crazy because it's so corrupt down there. It's so corrupt down in Venezuela, so it's better here. But they want to never mind. You know what I'm saying.
We can't say about overpopulation. That's what my biological father, Tucker Carlson, got in trouble for saying something about replacement, blah, 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 blah. But we don't know anything of that. The only thing that I know how to replace is the fuel filter on my car. And I can actually change the engine oil, believe it or not. And you can too if you want to be a man. But also part of being a man is wearing under-tack underwear.
Ooh.
Because when you're a pimp in a blimp,
Ooh.
it's easy to forget the little things, small things.
Yeah, you got a little thing.
You can do. Well, it is small.
It's
not very big, but we're gonna keep it rolling. Listen, forget the little things. Small things you can do to make each day just a little bit better. One thing I did was I tossed my uncomfortable, overpriced boxers for what is quite possibly the most comfortable pair of boxers I've ever owned. I'm talking about under-tack. If you haven't tried them yet, you have no idea what you're missing, and neither does AOC. These aren't normal boxers. These have literally been tested by special forces in places we aren't authorized to talk about. But that's not all. Under-tack is made with modal. Think of it like cotton on steroids. It's 50% more moisture-wicking, naturally antimicrobial, I don't even know, antimicrobial, I don't know how to read, and way softer. They come with a sturdy yet comfortable extra wide waistband, and the fly design is brilliantly straightforward. Under-tack is durable, ultralight, fade resistant, and shrink resistant. Here's the best part though. They're almost 30% less than any of the competition out there. So visit us at undertack.com. That's undertack.com. Right now, get 20% off site-wide with the offer code ALEX20. And your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back, Jack. And by the way, Undertack donates a portion of its profits to veteran-run organizations that are actively fighting human trafficking, which I personally love. Undertack.com. That's right, undertack.com. Offer code ALEX20. Use the offer code, get 20% off site-wide, and your junk is gonna hang right, it's gonna hang tight. You can be running and gunning all day long, you're gonna have no chafage, nothing to leave a skid mark, because listen, the antimicrobial, whatever the heck that word is, you're gonna have no turd marks. And that is the most important thing. No turds left behind. God bless the great job they're doing at Undertack. So make sure to go get some boxers. All right, well, next up, before we bring her on, we have a very lovely redheaded libertarian. So,
ooh.
Yes, her name's Josie, but she goes by Redheaded Libertarian. So what do you think about libertarianism?
I just think, it's like you're riding a horse, your cabero, and you need to decide what side of the horse to get off on. Pick a side. I mean, a libertarian, it's kind of in the middle. It's like right in the.
What's wrong with the middle?
We need to come together in the middle, but come together is great, but pick a side, pick a team.
But libertarians are better than liberals.
Okay. Oh yes, of course, por supuesto, amigo.
I got to ask you this. What do you think about the transgender movement? Is that very popular in Venezuela right now?
Oh man, it's everywhere in Venezuela. If you want to see where you're going, go down to Venezuela and you'll see. You talk about, you see the meme with the, the bait and tackle. They have the balls, you know, and the boobies.
They have a lot of boobs in Venezuela.
But they have the tackle, the bait and tackle with the boobs. It's like, no.
So there's boys with boobs in Venezuela.
Yes, they're boys. You know what I mean? The caviar, yeah, the hombres con titas.
Listen,
con titas.
I had a night in Las Vegas where I met a nice Filipino woman, what I thought was a woman, ended up having a very small, you know what, and I'll be honest with you, I paid the money up front and I wasn't able to get a refund, so I kind of had to go through with the process, and looking back, I really regret that, and I was misled. And unfortunately, I don't really have any sort of, you know, legal cause to sue them because I was a consensual partner in trickery, kind of like a Jerry Springer episode. But you know that happens to the best of us, you know.
You need to get counseling. You know, I got a therapist down in Venezuela. Changed my life.
Well, I'm a member of the Church of Scientology. And L. Ron Hubbard is actually against psychoanalysis, only if you're using an e-meter. So what do you think about Scientology?
I think it's, you know, it talks about the alien god. They come down in there and
Xeno,
yeah, Xeno, and you climb all these you climb all these levels, and then you get up there, and it's like, what is this? Nothing. It's like you get up there, it's nothing. It's a big deception.
It's not nothing.
No, I think it's a deception.
It costs $175,000. It's very worth it, and I'm on OT3, so I'm on my way to going clear. I only need about $200,000 more. But you know we're getting closer because we got another super chat. We're getting super chats like crazy. Crazy super chat alert. AOC's annoying. Okay, we get it, Big Mike, but listen, we know the show's like. And $5 from Bubba Army. We love you, Bubba the Love Sponge. We freaking support Bubba Army all day long. So Bubba Army in the chat, we need you. We support you. Okay, listen, we got a crazy show for us this evening. I mean, we have guests, we have this and that, but we just did an incredible interview, and I don't know if we have it keyed up or if we're going to do that later in the show. But if we had either the Robert Malone tease, we have Josie on. Okay, I didn't realize we had Josie on. Let's bring her on right now, guys. Josie's incredible. She's a redhead libertarian. She's not just a political pundit, but she's more than that. She's beautiful. She's on the internet. She's doing great things. Welcome to Primetime with Alex Stein.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Alex.
Wow. Well, you know, I always get in trouble for being a simp, too much of a simp, because I'm very lucky that I have a lot of beautiful ladies like yourself come on the show. So now, because you're a libertarian, though, all these conservatives, why do you simp to women? What do you think about all the anti-women hate that the conservative side has? You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I'm kind of a part of it.
I love it. Okay, tell us about it. Then tell us why anti-woman hate's good.
Well, I believe that the 19th Amendment was a mistake. I think that we can see that by the state of our country and the fact that everything got so much worse after women started voting. And I'd like to just do away with that altogether and maybe get back to fiscally conservative.
Shut up, Josie! You don't want to vote! You're so beautiful! You're so smart! What are you talking about? Listen, you gotta be voting! You have half a brain! All these other people don't even know what the heck the dead people are voting. I mean, everybody else can vote! And you don't want to be able to vote?
I'm happy voting, but I would give up my right to vote if it meant that the stupid women could not vote.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Guys, it's just when you say this stuff, and I'm not anti-woman, I love women. And I'm with Mariachi Manuel. I don't know, we call him Manny. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yes,
but he was actually at January 6th. Luckily, he's not charged. But
Hola, bonita.
He's actually a legal immigrant from Venezuela. Right. So what do you think about the illegal immigration that's flooding our border right now?
I believe that there is a way to get into this country appropriately, going through the system. I don't believe in cutting in line to do that. I believe.
Wait. Cutting in line is my favorite thing to do. I do it at the self-checkout. I cut lines everywhere. The movie thing. If there's a line, I'm not waiting in it. Are you kidding? So you're telling me right now that you encourage people to wait in lines when all you have to do, look, Novak Djokovic, right? He's a tennis player, world champion, Australian Open, one of the best players in the world. He's not allowed to come to America because he's not vaccinated. And that is him doing it the right way. Yet, if I'm a Venezuelan immigrant, all I have to do is go across the border and walk right in. So I kind of respect that more. I mean, they say Novak Djokovic's so smart. If he's so smart, why doesn't he just walk across the Rio Grande like everybody else? Yeah, he might get bit by an alligator, but who cares? He's a tennis player. He probably has very good swimming skills.
Yeah, I mean, tennis players probably can swim really well. Maybe he's worried he'd lose his arm to the alligator. I mean, that's
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the arm. I was thinking maybe
Gotta
you'd get bit
protect
in the
him.
foot. Because the foot's not
Yeah.
that big a deal. I've been bit in my foot a lot. Have you
Yeah,
ever been bit by an animal in the wild?
Ooh, good question.
Never. And I moved to Florida, and there are alligators everywhere. I've not been bit by one.
I kind of have a biting fetish. I've always wanted to be bit by a vampire. Ever since I saw that movie with Tom Cruise when he was a vampire, it really changed my life. So what movie have you seen that changed your life?
Ooh, good question.
Movie has changed my life.
Yeah, come on. You know you've seen a movie and you're like, oh, dang. Like Shawshank Redemption. That one, I saw that movie and I wanted to be a career criminal. That's when I was like, you know what? Jail's not that bad. And so that's why I started stealing and shoplifting.
Wow.
You ever shoplift?
Have I ever shoplifted?
Yes.
No.
Are you
No,
kidding? It's such a rush. You just
never
go into Target and you put as much crap in your in your areas wherever you can conceal it. You run like hell because they have security cameras and they will catch your ass. So let me tell you
Sounds
something.
wild.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest rushes. So like, have you ever committed like arson?
Oh my goodness, fuego.
Are you a Fed?
No, I'm not a fad. I want that known. I'm just saying arsonry, I think should be legal. You know what I mean? I mean, what do you think about that? You're a libertarian. Why can't I just start a fire?
Well, you can start a fire. I mean, if you wanted to burn down your own house or your own property, I'd 100% support you.
What if it's an auto zone?
ahead.
What if it's an auto zone?
You don't own the auto zone.
Yeah, I don't know, because during the Black Lives Matter riots, it was very important to burn down auto zones.
Oh
And
my
for
goodness,
me,
that's a good point.
so I'm saying, as an arsonist,
Wow.
listen, everybody said the same narrative. You don't think AutoZone's fully insured? You don't think they got insurance up their ass? Excuse my French. I'm not trying to say that, try to cuss, but a few AutoZones burned down. Is anybody really going to notice? I mean, oh, what? We don't have those disgusting air fresheners? And those mess up your endocrine system. Have you ever used any of those air fresheners before?
Oh God, no. No, definitely not.
No, they make you stink. Let me tell you something. My old ex-girlfriend, she was Guatemalan. She weighed 350 pounds, and she used to always use those. So I used to come home from work, and she would smell like wintergreen, and she would always be cooking empanadas. She would always make empanadas. So my house would come back, and it would smell like empanadas and wintergreen. What do you think about that combination?
That makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Yeah.
It's bad. No, it's really bad.
She
My
didn't
life.
go with like the new car smell or something.
Yes, the new car. It's disgusting.
I like that. I got a Dracar one time. The Dracar, the cologne. It's pretty good, you know.
The what?
Dracar, the cologne.
Jacquard, I don't know. Does a man need to smell nice? Is the pheromone, because I listen, there's always the conspiracy too, is that a woman doesn't just look at you and decide if they want to have sex with you. It's actually they smell your pheromones, your kind of aura, your aroma, whatever you want to call
Testosterone.
it. Testosterone.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that we
testosterone.
actually emit some sort of odor and that we are subconsciously attracted to that odor. So have you ever like been with a guy that kind of stinks and it kind of stinks good?
Ooh, stinks so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's it. It's their pheromones. It's you're attracted to it subconsciously, and sometimes they mix it with their deodorant or their cologne or something, and it doesn't smell good, but to you it smells good.
Yes, see, that's what I'm talking about. And this we're getting all the good stuff, and so
Hot in here. It's getting hot.
it is hot. And tell us, what is it like being an attractive woman with a big audience, with a big platform?
Rosita on fuego.
Well, I'm saying, is it tough? Is it challenging? I'm sure you have a lot of guys sending you unsolicited dick pics or whatever. I'm just saying it's hard. I'm not even kidding. I'm saying I like to joke around, but I think it's hard to be a woman on the internet as like a public figure. Is that correct?
Yeah, it can be challenging. I do get a lot of unsolicited dick pics,
Which is weird.
I-
Don't do that, guys. That's assault. But go ahead. Sorry to cut you off. That is assault.
People who are convinced that I'm AI, that I'm not real. So this is new because this AI thing kind of snuck up on us. And so that's the big thing, is that I'm AI. So people go out of their way to kind of prove that I don't exist. And it is just fascinating to me.
Wait, I kind of like this one. So now I'm talking to a hologram. But you said the joke earlier, am I a Fed? Have you guys seen, I love those tweets on the internet, or on Twitter, what the hell, the internet, where it'll be like a hot girl. It's like, teach me about guns. Or you know what I'm talking about? It's like, oh, this is so a Fed. So do you get that?
Oh yeah, it went from, are you a Fed? And then it just transitioned into, no, she's not a Fed, she's AI. Doesn't exist at all.
Rosita, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Your pale, your pale.
Don't call her pale. She's
No,
very
that's her
skinny.
hair.
Beautiful.
Are you a true Roja, redhead?
Yes.
Yes.
True, or you're not a fake.
What are you going to ask her next? Some sort of sexual question
No, I
about
was not
drapes
going
and
dirty.
sheets?
If you
Nothing
know
like that.
sucio,
This
that's
is a
your
nice,
mind. That's your
respectable
mind, bro.
woman. She works for a nice, respectable organization.
No, I was just asking you. You're beautiful. You're muy bonita, chica bonita. But I just wanted to know, is it real? The hair.
It's real. It's real.
You can't bottle this color.
You can't. Don't worry about Manny. Manny's been drinking a lot of cerveza all day. But let me tell you,
Tequila.
let's get back to what? Let's get back to
Tequila.
tequila. Excuse me. He's been drinking cheap tequila.
It's good.
Tell me this: are you going to be at the Minds event April 15th, I believe, in Austin, Texas?
I'm going to be in Austin, Texas 2 weeks later at a different event. I don't know. I haven't.
What? I thought
invited
Tim's
to
doing
that
some
one
big
yet.
event there. I figured you might be there. I'm speaking at a thing with Tim the day before, but this isn't the Tim, podcast. I just was.
Tim's got like 35 employees.
I know. I didn't know if you'd be there. I thought it was some big deal, but obviously
Sure,
it's
I'd
not.
love to be there, but we'll see. I can reach out to the organizers of Minds and see if I'm invited or not.
Yeah, I need to freaking.
Probably will invite me.
Yeah, because we need to meet. We need to freaking make this personal. We all need to come together. Listen, I can hold Manny's hand. Look, I'll hold Manny's hand. Look at that. We're through the box. No, here it goes. I like it like that. And we could all, if we could just all hold
You're happy
hands.
familia.
If we could just kind of put your hand up here a little. Yeah, kind of up here. And we're all going to hold. Do you feel this good vibrational energy? That's what I want. I want this in person. Shake it. Shake the tambourine.
This is the greatest.
The mariachi.
That's what this show is about. It's about spreading that good vibrational energy, which a lot of people don't want to do. Oh, but we got another $22 super chat. What? What is this? This is kind of rude to you, I think. If this woman doesn't think women should have the right to have a voice, I don't think she should be on this show without a man present on camera giving her permission to say what she is saying. Does your husband know you're online right now? That's a super chat. That's not me.
We're in the government because that's a government thing. You're not in the government. I can talk to you anytime I want to.
See, I agree. What the heck? You guys are spending $22 to get shut down like that. We're very grateful for it. But, I mean, come on, guys. She's allowed to speak. I actually believe women should vote. I think dogs and cats should vote
Rosita,
also.
guapa, are you Latina at all? Do you have any Latina blood? Or are you...
She's not a big booty
Because
Latina.
you're traditional. You're very traditional, like the women down in Venezuela. We like them traditional. We like them in the kitchen, no voting, those things.
No, I'm just always been very traditional.
Okay, I love
I've
it.
got a little native.
Like to make babies?
But other than that,
No, do not try to have a baby with our guest. He's been drinking all day. I am so sorry, Josie. Please do not. Like I said, he's high on tequila. I think he was doing a little fentanyl in the parking lot. No. I know he was huffing some spray paint.
Yes.
You were huffing some spray paint.
Yeah.
So.
we don't want to George Floyd on our hands.
Yeah, we don't. Listen, I miss George Floyd every single day. Okay, before we let you go, though, give us your opinion on the upcoming financial collapse. As a libertarian, I'm sure you do not like our banking system, how it is. What is going to happen on the horizon for people that have their money in these banks that aren't federally insured?
I think it's going to be a slow collapse. I've been kind of predicting this collapse for a while. 2008 was a Band-Aid. So it's going to be a slow collapse, but I think they're going to try to kind of usher us into a digital currency, which is horrifying. But that's just my conspiracy theorist, libertarian perspective.
And I'm a conspiracy theorist 100%, and they are going to have a social credit score. They are going to have some sort of digital currency because they have to in order to enforce the social credit score. Because like you said, 2008 was a hiccup. I mean, that was really bad. People were really struggling. Not trying to lessen that. But what we had with the pandemic, the reason they had the vaccine card and all that stuff where you could just fake it is so they can put in a better, more rigorous system in the future, a system of control, a system where they'll be able to cut your bank account off in 2 seconds. What do you think about that, Manuel?
I believe it is all a plan from the puppies in power, the world elites, the Klaus Schwab, the Billy Gates,
Billy Gates, he's bad.
They have the evil plan. They like Mr. Dr. Evil up there in the people blimp, but not our blimp, a different one.
This is our blimp, but I actually like Bill Gates.
100% on board with that.
Yeah, and Bill Gates has C-cup breasts, which I actually like. No, that's not loud. He has nice C-cups. I mean, Nancy Pelosi has bigger titties. Nancy Pelosi,
a healthy handful.
He has 2 big handfuls, and I'll be honest, I like something to grab onto. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be honest. So, Bill, if you're single, I know your wife. You guys are done. I'm not gay, but I'll be gay for pay. I mean, I need an extra $1 billion. Right? I mean, come on. We're trying to pay the bills. I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually in financial pain right now because I actually invested all of my Blaze bonus into SVP, and I also put a lot of it into FTX coin. So right now I'm really struggling. So a $49.99 super chat! Alex, we're lucky to be seeing you now before you're a huge, gigantic media star. Keep up the great work. You're right. I am going to be a huge, gigantic media star very soon, and one day you might not be able to watch me for free on YouTube. So savor the flavor. Savor. I'm with my favorite big booty Latina besides AOC and my favorite big booty libertarian all together. Finally connecting. Okay, so before you go, Josie, tell the people how can they support you and how can they find you?
Well, you can support me by becoming a member over at timcast.com. That's what we do. We do it all by donations. It's the people that do that. And you can also find me on Twitter at TRHL Official.
Yeah, I love your Twitter. You guys definitely need to go follow that. It's a the Redheaded Libertarian. TRHL. What's the rest?
TRHL Official.
Official. That's official like a referee's whistle. You're not going to be following a bot. You're not following one of these phony jabronis. You're following official.
I'm real.
Well, we still haven't confirmed whether you're real or not, but we're going to leave that up for the people playing at home.
In Austin. Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to meet you in person, then I'll be able to decide. So until I meet you in person, I'm still going to consider you as artificial intelligence because, I don't know if you know this before you go,
fair.
that I actually uploaded my mother's consciousness into this blimp, and I'm able to communicate with her in the afterlife.
That is incredible.
So, hey.
Technology is the thing.
Love that.
Technology is a hell of a drug.
It is crazy.
It's a hell of a drug.
I mean, what are they going to come up with next? Mommy's up there in the blimp driving.
That's what I'm saying. She is driving the blimp. All right. The Redheaded Libertarian herself. We love you. You came. You saw Manuel sexually harass you, which I'm going to have to speak to him about that after. But thank you so much for being a good sport and coming on the program this evening.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Rosa.
Bye. She's very beautiful. You don't have to act like that, but that is...
Spicy.
Listen, I'm in a lawsuit right now with AOC for me, what she said, I sexually harassed her. Debatable. But that kind of felt like sexual harassment a little bit.
No. She's traditional. She likes it.
That's Spanish.
No, that's our culture, man. They love it when we give them a little love. We show them a little love. We give them a little flirt, give them a little spice, because it's nice.
Spice is nice.
It is.
But you know what's not very nice? I don't know if you know this. I know this is your first time on the program, but we have some really sad news about the makeup of our crew here. And I know that this show, we're only on episode 16, and we've had a lot of turnover with the crew. We've had turnover on the format. We've had lots of ups and downs. But sadly, the producer that started the show, JVT, he has stopped answering our calls, stopped communicating with the Blaze. We cannot get a hold of him. I don't know if anybody has a way to get a hold of him. We would definitely like to offer him his job back here. We have no personal animosity towards him. I feel terrible for the stuff I treated him, the stuff I said. Do you think it was, we can go to the production booth for this because it's really hard to kind of talk about this subject, but supposedly he came on and he was wearing a Speedo and he didn't like that I had made fun of the size.
Yeah, did you make fun of his package? You said he had a small penis?
I said it multiple times. Yeah, it's not that big.
Dude, HR is already so mad.
I know HR's mad at me, but there was a bit. I don't know why Brendan, I don't know why he took it so personal. We always say the small penis bit. That's our whole bit.
Did you tell him it was a bit?
No, I didn't tell him. That's the whole point of the bit is you don't tell him it's a bit. Oh, my gosh. I mean, Brendan, listen.
He's sensitive. I don't know between the yelling at him and, getting audio engineers fired.
I miss him so much. I miss his touch. I miss the way he would just massage my back before the show. And
last I heard, he was somewhere in the Swiss Alps skiing.
Something like that, yeah, or like high on cocaine skiing that way. I heard something about skis. I don't know what that means. Now all the kids these days, you say skis, they're talking about using cocaine. You don't even know half the terminology.
Crazy.
I know. Why do they always say that? They have all these words.
Just be snow, blow, now
snow,
skiing.
Blow,
I mean, I like keep it the old school stuff. We keep it old. It's cool. Keep it the classics.
Heroin, H. Now they have all
that, man. Keep it with the stuff we know, the street words we know.
Well, so I just want to say, Brandon, thank you for filling in. I know that we have to kind of start this whole dog and pony show over from the beginning. We're both learning kind of. It's, the producer-host relationship, it's a lot like dating in a normal relationship, At first, it's a little awkward. You're kind of being nice. And then once you get to know each other, you're just blasting farts in front of each other, and it's no big deal. But before you get to the comfortable blasting farts with your loved one phase, you have some awkward moments. And right now, We had some awkward moments. We lost multiple crew members, multiple cameramen. We lost a sound guy, and now we lost a producer. So
pray for Jimmy.
Pray for Jimmy,
everyone.
Can we do that? Everybody in the chat, put ones in the chat or L's in the chat, whatever you guys want. But if we can, would you mind leading us in a small prayer for Jimmy Manuel, please?
Yes, adios, gloria adios. We just pray for Jimmy. We pray that we will find him, whether it's on the street or he's hiding with his wife somewhere where he is. Lord, we pray that he is safe and sound, and that you are keeping him, giving him encouragement that he can forgive Alex Stein. You give him a new encouragement and give him a fresh start where he is welcome back. Bienvenido, Jimmy, here to Blaze. And we pray that he comes with an open heart and a new, fresh healing within the family of the Primetime 99 crew members. And we thank you, Lord, and we thank you, Gloria a Dios, in Jesus Christo's name. Amen.
Amen.
That's
that was
beautiful.
beautiful. That was very
Thank
beautiful. Thank you for that. All right. Well, Brandon, looks like you got a heavy load ahead of you to lift, but I know that you're
no homo.
No homo, but hey, we do like heavy loads here. That's a no homo load reference.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I mean, I am I'm a power lifter, so I need big loads.
I was Don Terrius, by the way. I mean,
Don Terrius is doing good. Manuel actually dated my wife for a little bit too. A lot of people don't realize.
Very short time, but hey, I mean,
you had a lot of fun.
Don Terrius is like.
Manuel, you had a lot of fun with my wife. Let's be honest.
I mean, village bicycle. Everybody gets a ride.
It's more like the village Sea-Doo. We're a little nicer than a bicycle, but it's neither here nor there. My wife, Darlene, she really, you treated her really well. She had nothing but nice things to say about you until you got really wasted on the tequila. But, that happens to everybody.
Hey, I'm a Latino. I mean, come on. I like my tequila. Okay?
Yes, you do.
I ate the worm that night, too,
Guys, if you're drinking tequila right now and you're saying, hey, I need some new clothes, go get the most pimp merch out there. Make sure to go to pimponablimpshop.com. We got the best shirts, sweaters, hats, mugs, stickers, you name it, we got it. Tell everyone you love Big Booty Latinas by going to pimponablimpshop.com. No tequila is for sale, but we got blimps, we got pimps, we got shirts, we got flirts. Go get you something that says, hey, I like Big Booty Latinas, because you know what? If you don't, come on. I mean, do you really want to be caught without the Big Booty Latina outfit on? I mean, come on.
No, and 10% off, man. It's a deal. 10%
off.
It's a deal of a steal.
No tax.
It's a deal of a steal. How can you go wrong, man?
You just can't beat that. You just can't beat that.
No, you cannot.
But let me tell you who we can. We're talking about beating, winning, and losing. Next, we have on a very, very special candidate, and I'm not sure if we have. Oh, excuse me. Before we get to our very special guest, we have an interview that we did yesterday with an expert on mRNA technology. We can't say certain words, but this is Dr. Robert Malone. He came on the show to talk about basically the medical industrial complex and what they're doing to people. But obviously, because we're on YouTube live right now, we're live. Anybody send another super chat? We got the $50 super chat. We love you, Jay, that sent that. But because we're live on the show, you know that there's certain words that the YouTube censors are not going to let us say. And so this is a short snippet of my interview with Dr. Robert Malone and my potential new co-host, Jada. Dr. Malone, I don't know if you recently saw that there in Mexico, some people went for some medical tourism and they were kidnapped. And now my family, they're trying to stop me. I'm actually planning on going to Venezuela to get some medical tourism. I'm going to get a penis enlargement. And my family is trying to say that that would be very dangerous and not smart. I'm just wondering, do you think a Venezuelan doctor could do a penis enlargement as well as a doctor in, say, California or New York City?
I have no idea. I know that medical tourism is quite popular, particularly for cosmetic surgery and a variety of other practices. I think it's a little buyer beware, but there are perfectly competent physicians and surgeons throughout Latin America. Turkey is often a very popular destination for these types of procedures, as is some of the Eastern European countries that fall under the guidance of the European Union, but are have better price points. And then many people go to Asia for these types of procedures also.
Well, it's funny, Dr. Malone. So I'm a big Howard Stern fan now. His politics stink. I hate him. But on his show, he would have trans people on in the 90s, and they would talk about whether they were post or pre-op. And I was watching an old clip on YouTube, and the person talked about how they got their transitional surgery, I think, in Guatemala or Venezuela. So my question is, it used to be a medical tourism thing to go get the gender reassignment surgery, but now I would say every single major medical hospital has a gender reassignment clinic in it. So what do you think that now it went from no gender reassignment clinics, now there's one in every city. What is encouraging all these gender reassignment clinics to open up?
Well, there was some very revealing video from Vanderbilt University in Nashville, in which there was open discussion about how much money can be made through these gender reassignment procedures. They're really quite lucrative because they have a lot of follow-up.
Yeah, they're lifelong doctors. Jada, have you ever considered transitioning your children?
I have not.
But you would get a lot of followers on TikTok. Did you know that? On TikTok, it's very popular.
I'm sure I would, but
You got to talk into the mic, but tell.
I wouldn't do it for the followers.
You wouldn't cut off your child's genitals for
No,
social media clout?
I would not. Absolutely not.
Well, that's a very good mother right there. I'm
Thank you.
sad to say that there's other mothers that disagree with you and that they care more about getting clicks and likes on the internet instead of caring about their son or daughter's mental health or well-being. Okay, Dr. Malone, so tell us, how can the people support you? And I know you're one of the most canceled doctors out there, but how can the American people and the people all over the world watching this right now, how can they support you in this fight against the medical industrial complex?
Our Substack is our daily bread. It's what supports us now. And of course, we have the book, The Lies My Government Told Me. And you're welcome to buy that on Kindle or as a hardback. A lot of people find that really helpful in terms of trying to understand what we've all been subjected to over the last 3 years. But it's rwmalonemd.substack.com. You can subscribe and it'll come right into your email inbox. And you don't have to pay. It's just, you can pay if you want to, you can elect that, but it's not a paywall. We want the information to get out to everybody. And I can tell you that there's a lot of key people in the government that read this thing routinely. It's very fascinating. So that Substack seems to really be getting a lot of traction. We're now reaching about 750,000 to 1 million people a day.
Wow.
On those Substack essays.
Well, keep up.
And then, of course, it's Twitter, Getter, Gab, and Truth Social, all at RWMaloneMD.
And you know, this interview is going to have to be heavily censored. We're going to have to put in a lot of bleeps, and we didn't cuss one time. So if you guys are watching at home, you're like, what were all those noises? Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about this on YouTube before getting canceled. And you know, I'm not as esteemed as Dr. Malone. I'm sure you got canceled, but at least you built up, you know, some wealth, some notoriety, I'm hoping. Me, I got nothing. I don't want to get fired yet, Dr. Malone, so I have to be very careful because I cannot go against the medical industrial complex. Now, if you guys want to see that whole interview, go to blazetv.com. You're going to be able to watch that. Use the code PIMPONABLIMP for $20 off. That's the fabulous Dr. Robert Malone. And we got deep. We talked about all the stuff we're not allowed to say currently on this platform. And we got another $5 super chat. It said, more Brandon, more tracksuits. That's what I like to hear from Ryan Hennard. We love you, Ryan Hennard.
Thank you, Ryan.
What are you saying? What are you saying to Ryan? Do you know Ryan? Is this an inside job, Brandon?
It's not an inside job. This is not
Stinks
9/11.
like an inside job. It stinks. It has inside job written all over it. Ryan Hennard. Was that you? Are you Brandon Hennard?
No, my aliases are different.
Okay, all right. Well, I believe that. All right, next, the show is coming to a close. We only have about 12 minutes left, guys. So hang on to your seat, folks, because we have an incredible guest coming up. The one, the only, Ben Bankas. Ben is running for mayor of Toronto. He has an incredible campaign lined up. So tell us a little bit about your upcoming campaign and how you're going to be a progressive icon.
Thank you for having me on this show, Alex. My PR just told me that it might be problematic, so I apologize in advance.
It's going to be problematic. It's going to be problematic because, listen, I'll be honest with you. My daughter, she tried to transition. I blocked her transitioning.
Well, see, you would go to jail for that in Canada, and in Toronto, you could actually go to what our equivalent of Guantanamo, which is somewhere called Saskatchewan. That's where we send people who do things like try to detransition their children. But we're going to be looking out for trans rights, and the way we see our campaign is that there's a lot of problems in Toronto. We have a homelessness crisis. We have a not enough people getting the vaccine crisis.
That's true.
We have, people are being mean to trans people crisis.
People are being really mean to trans people. How are you going to stop that?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to be giving trans people 25 cents off of the Toronto Transit. So if you're
so they get a quarter off every time they buy a ticket on the Toronto Public Transit?
Correct. If I'm elected or when I'm elected mayor of Toronto, we're going to be doing that. We're also going to be allowing, I think it's $1 off if you are black and trans.
What? See, that adds up. Whoa. See, a lot of people, they say, oh, that's only $1 off. But if you're riding the subway every day, 3 or 4 times a day, $4 a day, there's 8 days in a week. That's like $36 a month or something like that. That's a lot of money when you start adding it up.
Well, the way I see it is the only way to solve poverty and crime is trans rights. And,
I agree.
Getting rid of homophobia, racism, as we know, those are the roots of homelessness and crime. So the only way to get rid of those things is to eradicate those. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to have weekly book burnings of certain Toronto citizens who've now become quite notable, such as Jordan Peterson and Gad Saad, who've been guests on Joe Rogan. So we're going to be burning their books weekly. We're going to be banning them from the city and banning anybody else who's been on the Joe Rogan Experience as well, just to make sure that we can continue to be a safe and accepting and open city.
Well, you know what I really love? The work that you're doing in Toronto with assisted suicide. And I'll be honest, I've had a lot of days I wake up and said, hey, you know what? I just want to book a ticket to Toronto and go get assisted suicided. So tell us, how are you going to help people that are looking to kill themselves?
We're going to be a sanctuary city for people who want to commit.
A suicide sanctuary city?
Yes. And transgender sanctuary city. So if you want to be transgender and you want to come here as a transgender and commit suicide, honestly,
half off?
It's free to use the transit.
What? Dude, you're going to win, Ben. Wait, so it's free? You're telling me that if you sign up, if you pre-sign up to be assisted suicide, you're going to get free public transit in Toronto?
Only if you're trans as well.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. That makes sense because there's a lot of people like, oh, I'm suicidal. And why let them save $5 on their transit every day? Because they're going to kill themselves anyway. Now, if you're a trans person, you're actually bringing awareness to transitioning and you're actually, being in the public. I get it. I love your rules. I love it. So how can the people support you before you go? Because we're going to follow your whole campaign. We want you to come on and give us updates as much as possible, Ben.
For sure. You could support me on Twitter at Ben Bankas, BenBankas. You can support me on Patreon. Those funds legally do not go towards the campaign, but they go towards
the transitioning.
My personal transition.
Oh, awesome. And you were born, what were you born?
I prefer not to say.
Oh, okay.
But what I do is, so in Canada right now, if you become an employee of the government, you get $75,000 towards transition. So the real reason I'm running,
as
mayor
you should. I mean, of course.
Yeah, it's going to be, so if I win, I'm going to get a free transition. So it's kind of like to me, it's more about the free transition than running the city.
Amazing.
And that's true because listen, who has $70,000 laying around to cut off their wiener?
That's what I say. I mean, incredible.
I mean, if you're going to say, hey, look, Justin Trudeau, you're going to give me a couple extra bucks and all I got to do is hack off my cock. I mean, sign me up. I love it. So Ben, we're going to follow you this entire campaign. Keep up the good work. And like I said, please feel free to update us. We want to have you on. We would definitely want to get your campaign going because you are changing Toronto for the better. And I applaud you for that.
One of the last things I want to mention is that I have already spoken to the Chinese embassy here in Canada, and they have confirmed that I will indeed be the next mayor of Toronto. So that's a little bit, that's kind of how it works.
CCP, congratulations. We love the CCP. Yes. Oh, China, we love you so much. China, you are so great. We are so lucky to be your global citizens. Thank you, China, for enslaving us with your cheap devices.
We got Fidelito over here. Tell him hello for me, Fidelito. Throw.
He's a gay Hispanic
We would
man.
give him universal basic income just based on the accent.
Oh, what the heck? Oh,
I need to move to Canada.
Yeah.
Get me here, Estados Unidos.
Oh,
Canada, here I come.
Canada?
Book my ticket.
You can use it all for weed. You can use it all for weed.
Oh, and he can use it for
Oh,
weed.
pop-up
What about
give, pop-up
fentanyl?
give.
What's the fentanyl policy?
Fentanyl is, I think it's legal in Vancouver, and it'll be legal in Toronto when I'm mayor of Toronto, and that's what China wants. So, and it's it's their fentanyl, so it's good stuff.
R.I.P. George Floyd. All right, we love you. We love Black Lives Matter, and we love Ben Bankas for mayor of Toronto. Go follow him on Twitter, Ben Bankas, and go follow him on Instagram. We love you, Mayor Ben. God bless you.
For mayor.
Well, excuse me, not God, Moloch. May Lucifer bless you in all of your great work.
And ball.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Well, folks, we've had a crazy show. We've had mayoral candidates on. We've had January 6th rioters. But listen, the show's live. Do we get any more super chats? No more super chats. One last $5 super chat. But if you guys want to send one last one, we're going to read it. But listen.
Alejandro, I have to step in right now. And I need to be real por usted.
Please
Real with you.
We need Real.
Folks, I'm insurrectionist and actor Luke Coffey. I was portraying Manuel Horchata today, but for real?
You can just speak normal.
Okay, I'll just speak regularly.
You don't have to keep using the accent.
I'm a accused insurrectionist that is looking at 20 years behind bars. I've already done 45 days in prison, did 20 months on home arrest with a fun ankle monitor. And so I want to be real with the American public. What the story is needs to be told completely, not just one side. We've heard one side. We've heard the sham committee in D.C. tell you what the story was. That wasn't the full story. We want all the tapes released. Tucker has cracked the dam, but we need
My biological father. My biological father did it. But go ahead, sorry.
And we're very happy with Daddy Tuck for doing that, but we need the American public. I don't care if you're a conservative or a liberal. We want the truth out there. They only told us 14,000 hours. Now we're hearing 70,000 hours of footage of what happened that day that's been hidden from the American public. There was 4 Trump supporters that died that day. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? 2 women, 2 men. We know of Ashley Babbitt. You don't know of Roseanne Boyland, who perished right next to me. She was beaten by a allegedly D.C. Metro cop named...
Well, we don't know. This is all allegedly. This is allegedly for the people laying at home. Roseanne Boyland did die.
She did perish, not of an Adderall overdose.
Well, we still don't know how she died.
We know that.
Well, he knows this, but I don't. So go ahead.
So, and there were 2 other men, Kevin Greason and Benjamin Phillips, that died from projectiles that day. You need to know the whole story. We need the righteous to stand up for truth, expose the darkness, because this whole story hasn't been told. And we are owed that the mainstream media has told a half-truth of that day. And you need to know the full truth.
And listen, sorry, not to cut you off. This is the reason why I had Luke on those. Luke's been a friend of mine for years. And I actually had a little clip. I don't even know if we have the clip pulled up. But this is actually from right after January 6th. I don't know if we can run this clip really quick. But this is on my old Conspiracy Castle podcast, which is not allowed to be on YouTube any longer because of censorship. But even if we don't have
that thing you guys are showing.
Okay, yeah. So this is it.
Do you realize that anybody with Microsoft Publisher can create a fake FBI wanted document?
Yeah, but it's on the FBI Twitter. It's on the FBI's Twitter.
It is?
Yeah, have you not seen that? Go to it's on the FBI. They just tweeted.
Everybody's sending me it, and it's on the FBI web. But
it's on their Twitter.
They've contacted me, and
what they say, Luke? Well, hold on.
I told you this. Yeah, I'll say it again.
But have they contacted you since the flyer?
Yes, I talked to him last night. And I said, "Can you take me off the flyer?" And he's like, "Well, it's already out there. You're already cleared. They want the footage."
Well, so the reason why we played that clip is that was a surreal day. That was January 17th, 2021. And that was right when the FBI started tweeting out photos of Luke. And the reason why you're like, well, why is Luke in a costume? Why is he joking? Luke is a comedian. Luke has been on a lot of TV shows, Friday Night Lights. He's produced a lot of independent content himself. And he's a comedian and actor. And now they're labeling him a actual cop killer, domestic terrorist. And for me, when you guys watch this show tonight, I hope you saw that this is a person that has a sense of humor, that wants to make people laugh, and does not deserve to rot and spend a big chunk of his life behind bars. So I hope to give Luke a platform to be able to not just help himself, but I guess help all the victims of this, January 6th weaponization of our Department of Justice.
Yes, and I want to just echo, there's a film that I was a part of that Epic Times did called The Real Story January 6th. If you go to my Instagram, Lukewarm Coffee, you can see a free version of it on my link tree. And I'm putting out content that has been hidden from us. And the way our lives were turned around, Alex, turned upside down. There were 1,000+ of us. Our reputations were ruined. We were on billboards across Dallas.
Yeah, on the FBI Twitter.
We were on FBI. We were totally... Our families were shamed because of, they put out all this media, and it was...
And this has caused you a lot of drama in your family. I mean,
yes, half of my family is very liberal, and they have bought into the narrative that it was the worst attack since the Civil War.
Yeah, and I had to yell this, and then 2 hours later, they were able to go certify the election. So it was so bad.
It was worse than 9/11 in Pearl Harbor. Come on, guys. Are you waking up a little bit yet? So we need y'all to share the truth, be open, and also visit stophate.com/J6. And there's documentaries. You can write the Patriots. There's over 100 people in prison right now that have been in prison over 26 months for
no
crimes,
bond,
most of which don't have none of criminal records. We were patriots there to just make our presence known. We thought the election could...
No. The election was great.
It was
great. The show is over.
The
show is over. Luke is a great guy. The election was the best election ever. Joe Biden is the greatest. Joe Biden is the greatest president we've ever had. Thank you, Joe Biden.
He's the greatest.
Hunter Biden, I would do anything for you, Hunter Biden. Please send me some dick pics. All right, guys, we end the show the same way with my buddy, freaking old Lucas Coffee, with the freestyle finale. So DJ, hit that beat. Yo, we grinding it.